in the world does a bulimic alcoholic woman end up publishing a book about style and manners?
You guys, I'm here with Laura Martella.
Author Laura Martella is here.
Meet Gentleman Norman and Laura Martella.
And become a leading clean food expert, teaching people to change their lives through the food they eat. My answer?
Still. You see me fly, you know they'll never catch me for it. See me fly, the way I put my finger on it. See me fly, you got it.
It's the power of God's grace.
The wrong guy.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for tuning into the podcast. This is where we talk about all things health, hope, gratitude. Health, hope, and gratitude. It is the trifecta of life. If you are new here, welcome. If you like what you hear here, please subscribe on my YouTube channel. I would really appreciate it. So you guys know I'm really big on routines. And I do believe that we can change our life one healthy habit at a time. I also will always remind you that baby steps are steps, and it's human nature to take 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But y'all, I'm an accountability coach, a certified recovery coach, and a clean food expert and wellness coach. And I want to encourage you, when you get off track, just get right back on. It's about progress, not perfection. So just take a moment with me right here, right now, on this, what we call around here, Wellness Wednesday. No, I did not coin that, but I want you all to start thinking of Wednesdays as Wellness Wednesdays. And my podcast will drop every Wednesday morning, 6 a.m. Here's what I want you to do right now. Just take a little breath. Check in with yourself and see how you are feeling. What are you longing for? What do you need to do for yourself? This world gets crazy and busy, and there are so many tips out there about getting healthy and what to eat, what not to eat. I really like to keep things super simple. So what you get from me here is latest studies and research. I am passionate. I am obsessed with feeling good. So I am constantly reading new research coming out every day on wellness, particularly clean food. But additionally, I want you to know that I always give you a little Bible. That's our hope, health, hope, and gratitude. I've got statistics and research today. I've got some hope from the Bible. And regarding gratitude, we can all find something to be grateful for every single day. So today, what we're going to talk about and focus on is sleep, rest, how important it is, how if you are having some challenges, there might be some things that you need to do. And I'll tell you a little bit about my own sleep story. So I guess I'll just go ahead and tell you a little bit about me. So I'm 58 years old, and I was never a really good sleeper. I mean, I always woke up in the middle of the night, and actually, I started drinking in the middle of the night. If you don't know, I'm a recovering alcoholic, and I've been sober for a long time. by the grace of God. But I started self-medicating with alcohol because of my sleep problems. And then I got sober at the age of 35. And y'all, I'm telling you, we want to grab that wine or a cocktail because we think that it helps us sleep. It really disturbs our sleep. Number one, there's a lot of sugar, but the other effects of alcohol, you may fall asleep quickly, but you will not stay asleep. So rethink those evening cocktails. Secondly, here's what started happening to me. I was probably early 40s and I could not sleep. I'm sober. I'm connected with God. I'm working out. I kept waking up, and I talked to a doctor, a friend who's a doctor. And of course, I was blaming my husband and his snoring. I mean, that's one of the good things about being married, right? You can blame them. Just joking. I thought for sure that my husband needed to change something and stop snoring. And this friend of mine said, I think it's hormonal, Laura. And I didn't want to hear that. I thought, well, I'm too young for hormone problems. I'm healthy. It can't be hormones. Like, I think as women, we can be in a little bit of denial how, we can be premenopausal and not realize it. So if you're having trouble sleeping, I highly recommend seeing your doctor, having some blood work done, and checking your hormone levels. And not a doctor, not a nutritionist, and you don't need to be to become your own expert on your own body. Go see a doctor and request your hormones being checked. Oftentimes, if they're out of balance, sleep issues can be corrected with a small dose of estrogen. You just need to get it checked out. You could maybe have, if you're on hormones, bioidentical hormones from a compounding pharmacy is what I have been on. And I know it's controversial. I am just telling you what I do and what has worked for me. And so bioidentical hormones are compounded at a compounding pharmacy specifically for your blood work. So it's very detailed. So the doctor, my friend, was right. I needed to get my hormones balanced. And so that really helped me to start sleeping. But in the midst of that, this really hit me. My therapist, because I was really frustrated. And if I don't sleep, I am not a nice person. And my therapist reminded me that sleep is up there with air and water. It's above food. And he went on to remind me that that's how they torture prisoners of war, is they do not let them sleep. So if you're struggling, I encourage you to take it very seriously. And there is help out there, and it's not as difficult to find a solution as you may think. I want to share with you, here's some little, this will get your attention. So, did some research for you guys. And one of my go-to doctors, he's the author of The Obesity Fix. And he says that, let me tell you, there's so many good things on sleep. But this is the most important thing that will get your attention. Going to bed early is a fat loss hack. Did I get your attention? You recover better, you build more muscle, you avoid late night binging, you eat less the following day. Going to bed early, when we were young, it used to be a punishment. I want you to start thinking of that as it's a reward. And this going to bed early is like a superpower. And for you busy moms, you busy socialites, you busy career women, burning it at both ends, hear me. The hustle and grind thing is over. The self-care, the aligning, I know that's a little woo-woo, but you want to align with your purpose. You want to stop forcing things out of frustration. If you're frustrated with whatever you're facing, take a step back and just kind of go inward and up the self-care and let things kind of settle. Just trust me, I've been doing this for a long time. I am self-employed. I am entrepreneurial. And I think I got to make things happen. And I stopped doing that about 5 years ago. And everything changed. There is something about trusting God, trusting the universe, and let things happen in their own timing. I'm not saying don't do the work. I'm just saying it's like an energy. It's like a mental thing. So back to going to bed early. You're going to have healthy boundaries with your spouse, with your kids. Remember what I say. Don't forget the ripple effect you taking care of yourself may have on your family members and friends. So you need to have healthy boundaries with the things you say yes to. No is a complete sentence. It is so hard to say no. A little side note, I'll tell you this. My first year of sobriety, I was getting frustrated and had all these resentments because guess what? I was saying yes when I really meant no. And I was saying yes to a lot of things I really didn't want to do. And what we want to strive for to have peace in our heart is our yeses mean yes and our nos mean no. That is a real way to have a peaceful, authentic life. So I didn't know how to say no. And I asked this lady, this beautiful woman. I lived in Oklahoma City at the time, and she always wore hats and just a Southern. And I said, but Kay, how do you say no? Like it was beyond my comprehension because I was such a people pleaser and didn't want to disappoint anybody. And anyway, she goes like this. Oh, you just say, I'm so sorry. That just won't work for me. And that's how I started learning how to say no. Now, a lot of years later, one of the great things about being 58 is I care a lot about myself and my time and my energy. And I am able to say, I'm sorry, I already have another commitment. Thank you for thinking of me. That is how I decline invitations or projects or opportunities that don't align with what I want to do and who I want to be. So you just have to start practicing, but I want to give you permission. Just remember this one-liner, no is a complete sentence, okay? So how does that relate to sleep? Well, you've got to plan your days and your nights and be able to take care of yourself. So remember, going to bed early is truly a superpower. You are going to feel better the next day. And I also want to tell you about this. I'm all about eating clean. My definition of clean, listen to some past episodes, but my definition of clean is no man-made chemicals. And like I said, not perfection, but I really try to encourage my clients the 80-20 rule. 80% of the time, have your eating plan, eat clean. 20% of the time, allow for food emergencies, life happens, kids' soccer games, doctor's appointments, whatever. So the 80-20 rule. This is something that Dr. James Denick says. So this is very important. It doesn't matter how clean you eat or how hard you train. Speaking of sleeping, let me tell you, Norman is snoring and we've adjusted the mic. Norman is my Pomeranian. Norman, can you hear it, Wayne? If y'all hear it, I'm sorry. I love him. We let him hang out during the podcast. So if you hear a funny noise, it's Norman sleeping and snoring. Okay. Doesn't matter how clean you eat or how hard you train. If you sleep like crap, you are going to look and feel like crap. Sleep is the lead domino. That's really pertinent. And there are studies that show, and I know this in my own experience, if you don't get enough sleep and you're tired and you're sluggish, you feel hungry. A lot of times we reach for food when what we need is sleep. On that note, a lot of times we reach for food when what we really need is hydration. So keep that in mind. On the subject of sleep and a nightly routine, a couple episodes ago, I talked about my morning routine and morning tips for you. I like to tell you what I do and throw some things out there and then let you see what works for you. And I will never tell you anything to do that I haven't done. On the morning routine, great way to start the morning, as you know, is getting up earlier, having lemon water before you eat or drink anything. I'm a big fan of a dance party, God time in the morning, trying to get up earlier before your family or get up 30 minutes earlier before you normally do so you can ease into your day. By doing that, your things that you think are so important, once you get centered and a little self-care behind you, your priorities may change. You know, everybody wants a piece of you in the morning. And once you get centered, you'll be able to discern priorities. All right. So what I said on this morning routine episode is the best way to a smooth morning is an evening routine. So the evening routine, he is snoring so loud. Can you hear him? I'm sorry. Okay. He's so cute. All right. For the evening routine, clean up that kitchen. No dishes in the sink, the dishwasher unloaded, everything put away. I get my coffee ready the night before, so all I have to do is push the button. I get my lemon water ready the night before, so it's room temperature. It's right there on my bathroom vanity. What else do I do in the evening? I try to, big one. Try not to eat 3 hours before you go to bed. This is big, y'all. When you are sleeping, that is when your body is restoring cells, restoring your brain. If you have eaten before you go to bed, your body can't rest because it's busy digesting. So you want to avoid eating right before bed. And then I take, this was a game changer for me. My doctor recommended that I take magnesium, and I recommend that. It is so good for you. Let me tell you the benefits of magnesium from my doctor. He says if you could only take one supplement for the rest of your life, it should be magnesium. It helps with sleep, mood, and stress. It helps with high blood pressure. It helps with muscle cramps. And it helps with energy and headaches. He recommends 200 to 400 milligrams every day. I take 400 milligrams. I also take my bioidentical progesterone at night. And that is like my little sleep cocktail. It helps so much. A little side note on these supplements. You want to check ingredients of supplements also. They're really not regulated in any way, and they can put a lot of inflammatory chemicals in the supplements. So if you have a choice between like a flavored something or just regular, don't do the flavoring, y'all. Flavored is quote unquote natural flavors, which is anything but natural. It's a bunch of chemicals. So start reading the labels on your supplements as well. Okay, when we get back, we're going to talk a little bit more about what the Bible says about sleep. Years into my sobriety, I thought I was living a very healthy lifestyle, exercising and eating right, yet I was suffering from debilitating migraines and severe bloating. Thank God that I went to a functional medicine doctor who treats the whole body. It turns out I'm highly allergic to preservatives and other additives. I'm going to help you with the information overload today with what to eat, what not to eat. I can help you decipher food labels, all these marketing buzzwords that get you to buy the product. There are no quick fixes, no teas, powders, or shakes. It's hard work, but it's doable. What I am offering to you is a way to eat real food, whole food. This is not meal plans. This is not a restrictive calorie counting diet. I want you to eat. I want you to eat the right things. This is about non-toxic, elevated eating. Food is medicine. Welcome back, y'all. I wanted to tell you about my favorite brand of pajamas I've been wearing for over 10 years since I started getting hot flashes and my hormones changing. So Soma, S-O-M-A, they actually have a line of pajamas called Cool Nights. And it is fabric that's treated to help you keep cool at night. So I talk sometimes about I want you to romanticize your life. I want you to fall in love with taking care of yourself. And I think I'm so big on, I always say this, savor the moments, because it's the moments that add up that make it a beautiful day, that make it a beautiful life. All right. I love pajamas, and the only brand I buy is Soma. And I'll tell you, I like to have, and this article on sleeping that I was reading about women struggling with sleeping and to get your hormones balanced. It's funny how it's kind of common sense, but because I think about myself a lot and I love self-care, but some of you busy people, I think you don't think about yourself enough and what would feel good and luxurious for you. And luxury doesn't have to be a 5-star hotel. You can make your daily life, you can make a ritual. So I put my pajamas on, or this is a caftan that I love. Caftans are amazing. It has a little drawstring, so it pulls in at the waist, but then it's just long and flowy. I am a caftan lady. But I also put on my cute pajamas when I get home. So here's the thing. I like a camisole and the long bottoms, the men's bottoms. I'm very specific. I like a cuff, side pockets. Then I have the little camisole, and then I have the men's. It's like men's style pajamas, and then the top. And you want to be able to go to sleep in something that's, you can take something off or put it back on easily. So this is what I live in, are these Soma pajamas, camisole, men's top and bottoms, or give me a beautiful caftan. All right. And it feels good. I mean, we don't have to look awful just because we're tired when we get home, and we can look good and feel good for ourselves. All right. So it's Cool Nights by Soma. And this is not an ad. They don't know who in the hell I am, but I love them. All right. So let me tell you, I spent some time this morning in the Bible. As I always do, I Google, what does the Bible say about sleep? What does the Bible say about rest? And I want to share this with you. It says sleeping is referred to within multiple contexts throughout the scripture stories and teachings. For one, as the obvious time of rest during the night as we recover our energy to take on the next day. In this context, the Bible mentions, this is really big, trusting in God as an assurance of such peaceful resting. If we are troubled by worries preventing us from sleeping, we can cast our anxieties upon the love and sovereignty of God in the alleviation of such concerns. And I really, really love that. I have a friend in Los Angeles that is so into the hustle and grind and working unhealthy hours. And I have tried to explain to them that when you take care of yourself and take time out of work, that you're trusting God. You're showing God that you trust Him enough to take care of yourself, that you trust God enough to give your burdens to God and get some sleep. You guys, when I moved back to Georgia from LA about a year and 8 months ago, I did not know how my business was going to go. I mean, we all face uncertainty, but this is the thing, is that what I said to myself, if I don't take care of me, who's going to take care of me? And I want you to start thinking about that. You've got to take care of yourself. So cast your burdens at night onto God and practice your faith. Practice trusting Him. I actually wrote down a couple of Bible verses that really spoke to me this morning about rest. On the hustle and grind mentality, you grinders, listen up. This is a psalm. It is vain for you to rise up early, to retire late, to eat the bread of painful labors, for he gives to his beloved even in his sleep. We can rest. God never stops working. He's always working. He's doing things on our behalf that we don't even know. So trust. And I know it's a practice. My pastor last week, I have been anxious about something, and I might share it later, but my pastor said this to me. He makes me laugh. If you don't love your pastor, get to know him and love him. But he said, what did he say? Anxiety is not a sin, but it's a sign. Let that sink in. We got to learn to trust God. Here's Job 11:18. Then you would trust because there is hope, and you would look around and rest securely. Isn't that beautiful? Exodus 33:14. And he said, my presence will go with you, and he will give you rest. So beautiful. I have a little pillow on my bed that I got at a women's retreat at my church. Oh, and it's a shout out to Pillow Grace. It's a local St. Simon's Island company. They make the most beautiful pillowcases, and they have Bible verses on them. And I just think it's such a nice thought. You can lay your head on a Bible verse. But my little pillow says, my soul finds rest in God alone. So regarding your sleeping and your resting, comes it all, especially on this podcast, Health, Hope, and Gratitude, it all comes back to God. When we have God, we have everything. And remember, our head is a liar. Fear is a liar. And we can just trust. All right, I want to also talk to you about a little bit more health stuff that I found that is really just some statistics and research on the importance of sleep. We'll be right back. Thank you for listening to my podcast. I want to invite you to visit my website, cleanfoodexpert.com. I am a clean food expert, a motivational speaker, and a wellness coach. Additionally, I'm a certified recovery coach, and I designed and developed a program that I so desperately needed as a woman over 35. I needed this every time I got out of rehab. So if you have been struggling and you need extra support to create a balanced, healthy life while you are getting sober, call me. I got you. Welcome back. Thank you for listening. All right. As promised, I have got some research for you on this will get your attention. Getting enough sleep will help you lose weight. I cannot say that enough, okay? Listen up. This is from a doctor. Good quality sleep heals and repairs your heart and blood vessels. It helps support a healthy balance of the hormones that make you feel hungry. This explains me to myself. These hormones are ghrelin and leptin, When you don't get enough sleep, your level of ghrelin goes up and your level of leptin goes down. This makes you feel hungrier than when you're well rested. Have a bedtime. Promise me. Gosh, I wish I could just talk to you all and hear your feedback. Good quality sleep affects how your body reacts to insulin. Insulin is the hormone that controls your blood glucose, which is your sugar level. Sleep deficiency results in a higher than normal blood sugar level, which may raise your risk of diabetes. Another benefit of good quality sleep, it supports healthy growth and development. Deep sleep triggers the body to release the hormone that promotes normal growth in children and teens. This hormone also boosts muscle mass and helps repair cells and tissues in children, teens, and adults. Sleep also plays a role in puberty and fertility. Good quality sleep can affect your body's ability to fight germs and sickness. Ongoing sleep deficiency can change the way your body's naturally defense against, it affects your immune system. So these are just a few ways that, if that doesn't convince you that sleep is important, all I need to know, and you probably can identify this too, I don't feel like the same person. When I am well rested, I'm pleasant, I'm cooperative, I'm not quick to get angry, I'm not hungry all the time, I'm not fatigued. But when I can't sleep, y'all, I'm weepy. I'm not a good person. Is that true for you? Think about it and ask your family if that is true. All right, when we get back, we'll wrap this up. Just a few suggestions that I give to my private clients about how to wind down at the end of the day and get your brain, your soul, and your body ready for rest. As your clean food expert, I am here to tell you that hunger is never a part of getting healthy. It is time to stop dieting and start eating. Welcome back. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. As I mentioned, I have these handouts for my clients and ways to kind of wind down at the end of the day when you get in bed. These are not hard to do things. And there's one that I struggle with still, which I'll tell you when we get to it. But here are 5 things that I recommend after 7 p.m. and your sleep and your life will not be the same. Okay, remember these. Reflect, disconnect, plan for tomorrow, breathe, and read. All right, so the reflection. And this can be, you're you're comfy and cozy in your bed and just trying to start thinking differently when you get in bed. And, the Bible talks about the renewing of your mind and trying to get control of our thoughts and settle down. So the reflection, answer these 3 simple questions. What happened today that I'm grateful for? Just in your mind. I usually try to pick I call them 3 wins. they kind of cross over from what I'm grateful for to what moved me toward my goals. But sometimes they cross over. But 3 questions. What happened today that I'm grateful for? Number 2, which actions moved me towards my goals? It can be little things. It can be like not having that bag of chips, not yelling at my kids, showing up for my workout even though I only had 30 minutes instead of an hour. And number 3, are there any changes I can make? And this is not to beat yourself up. This is just to become more self-aware and honest with yourself. And the reason why I like these, and y'all, I've been coached a lot. I've had therapy. I'm in 12-step for 23 years. I take all that I've learned in my sobriety and now being in Bible study, and I just put down what I think are the best ones. All I want you to do is find what works for you. But what I feel about these questions is they strike a balance between gratitude and self-improvement. Self-improvement is not about beating yourself up, okay? All right. That's reflecting. Number 2 is disconnect. This is a good example. Imagine trying to park a car that's going 70 miles an hour. That's what we're doing during the day. This is another reason why the minute I get home, I like to change my clothes. It just makes me feel more relaxed to put on my cute pajamas. So the car going 70 miles an hour, and then you just try to park it. That's essentially what we're doing when we hammer our brain with work and TikTok videos until the moment we go to bed. Try to toss your phone. It's hard. And I do justify that my Instagram feed and all the Jesus accounts and health and wellness accounts, are good for me and relax me. But if I'm honest, I also have conservative political things. And the thing about our Instagram feed is we don't know when what thing is going to pop up. So I'm getting better about just putting down my phone. And, you want to let your body slow down. Just slow down. Okay. The next one is plan for tomorrow. Now, this doesn't mean a spreadsheet. This doesn't mean have it all figured out. But a productive day starts the night before. The simple act of writing down 3 items on the 3 biggest things on your to-do list can create massive momentum for the day ahead. And then I like doing this for myself. It really works because once I write it down, I know I'm going to get to it. Like I don't sit there and start thinking, oh, I got to remember to do this. I got to remember to do this. So what I do actually on this, I like to write it on my desk. Like before I'm finished with the workday, I try to have already done that. And, but whatever works for you, but just write it down somewhere the next day. So you can give it to God, give it to the universe. Boom. It's your time now. The next one was breathe. Breathe. We take on average about 20,000 breaths a day. We might as well make a few of them count when we are in our bed cozy at night. And then there's all these different little breathing techniques out there. So focus what works for you, I mean, if you're new to focusing on your breath, the simplest thing that I started with is the 4-7-8 technique. It's breathing in through your nose for 4 seconds, hold for 7 seconds, and slowly exhale for 8 seconds. This is one of the best ways you can de-stress before bed. And if that's too complicated for you, I just suggest just lying there and just focus on your breathing. And you want, when you breathe through your nose, exhale through your nose. See, for the longest time, I was inhaling and exhaling more through my mouth because I thought that was going to give me more air and more relaxation. But there's new studies now that nose breathing is better for you. And when you breathe through your nose, your abdomen is going to expand, not your chest. We call them belly breaths. So think about that. Number 5, read. Reading puts me to sleep. Does it put you to sleep? I mean, if I can't fall asleep, reading is going to do it for me. And I admit I have been on my phone for years at night. And I've started being better about that. And sometimes I read, but what I've been doing lately, and again, you'll find what works for you, but I am so in love with my nighttime routine, with my pajamas, with my skincare routine, with my cuddling time with Norman, taking my supplements. I turn out my light and I really just focus on God. I don't want to read. I was actually reading Matthew Perry's book, and it's really good. But I don't know. I've just gotten to this point where I just want to focus on God. And now I have enough Bible verses in my head that I kind of fall asleep thinking of God, thinking of gratitude. And I hope you love your bed as much as I love my bed. I'm very aware of my mattress feels so good. And welcome to 58. I bought an orthopedic pillow, which game changer. Maybe I need to compile a list for you guys on my supplement, my pillow, my pajamas, my sheets. I'll do that, Wayne. Let's do that. But so I just lie there and I think, I feel so safe and I did my best today. And thank you, God. And this pillow under my neck. And I'm in love with being aware of my surroundings. So find what works for you. And that is really all I really want to say about sleep and rest. One thing that just came to my mind on resting, I did this on my radio show when I was hosting the radio show, but resting is productive. I want you to start thinking of resting as being productive. And when you're tired and you're frustrated, and being an entrepreneur can be so rewarding and so stressful. And because it's, at least for me, and I think Wayne, my producer, and I know I have a lot of friends that are self-employed and entrepreneurial and creative. When it's your thing that you're doing and you're passionate, you wouldn't believe, I'm actually tired after just sitting here talking. I got to rest because it's me, it's my soul coming out and I get tired. So I want you to start thinking of when you're tired, learn to rest. Don't quit. Learn to rest and know that rest sometimes is the most productive thing you can do. So rest easy this Wednesday. I want to hear your comments. I want to hear your questions. Hey, enjoy your nightly routine. God bless.
Catch me for it.